Hey Hudson, it's me, your dad. 3:54, November 23rd, 2021. Just driving home from work like usual. That's what I'm usually doing, huh? I was thinking about anger and how to deal with anger. It's very important. So if you're anything like I am, or like I was, I should say, maybe I still am. I was a very, very angry young man, particularly in my early 20s, but before that even, felt a lot of anger. I didn't know how to express it. And I still, maybe I don't know how to express my anger, but in a healthy manner, you know what I mean? Maybe I still don't, but really I try to manage the anger to begin with. So it's a good idea, something I learned late after a lot of trial and tribulation and self-reflection and concentration, how to change my habits, change my ways, because it wasn't working, being angry, being angsty, just not being a good person. So what am I getting at? Now, anger. You have to understand what anger is before you can even try to beat it. You have to know your enemy. So, anger, I've found, usually comes from a lack of knowledge, ignorance. You get angry because something frustrates you, because you don't understand why it is the way that it is, or why it's not working, whatever you're trying to do, why people are the way that they are. And the simple answer to that is, you just have to learn, as you get out of your own head. You're not the only person on planet Earth. You're not the most unique person on planet Earth. I mean, it's probably, everybody's pretty unique, you can learn a lot from a lot of different people. Eventually you start to see groups of people, people are kind of one way or kind of the other. They, you see general similarities in people. For better or worse, we're focusing on the good part of that. Generally, all people, want to do well. And, you have to understand people. I'm not going to break down people for you. Maybe that's another video. I don't even know how to explain it myself. It's just a culmination of experience. Maybe it's intuition. I don't know. Anyway, you have to understand, if it's people that are making you angry, understand them, specific people, or groups of people, just learn as much as you can about people. Getting frustrated with other things, say you're trying to put together some furniture or something stupid, and the damn, the screws suck. They use some cheap ass steel to make the screws out of. You try to use that little key that comes with them, little Allen key, hex key, whatever you want to call it. And you're trying to tighten it in there, and it fucking strips and it rounds out, and I can't really get it in and out, so you gotta fucking bash it in there or rip it out. It can be very frustrating. It's like you have to understand, what did you do wrong? Really think about it, break it down. It's not the stupid thing and the stupid hex key, the stupid wood is cheap and garbage and fucking splinters. It just explodes when the screw is just a little bit too big because they use some dull drill bit to make that hole. When it's pre-drilled, whatever it might be, figure it out. And then importantly, more importantly, maybe not more importantly, but next, once you figure out what's going on, you have to actively think about that and remember that and forgive people for being people, forgive things for being things. They're just things, we're just people. You don't have to get so angry. I've wasted a lot of time and a lot of life being angry because I never thought about it. Never thought about how to not be angry. Then once I finally did, when I was like 26 years old or something like that, oh, sorry, my ears are popping. It really turned around for the better. You have to be positive. Being positive it's an active thing. You have to push forward, smile when you don't want to. Like, pay attention to the words that come out of your mouth. When you say things and you keep saying them, it does affect you. It affects the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you operate. You really have to keep that in mind. It's like, I have nothing against swearing and all that sort of stuff, but there's a time and a place. When you're frustrated, try not to swear too much. It makes it easier to deal with. Because once you uncork that genie, that evil little genie, and that anger starts coming out, it flows out. The problem with that is sometimes you don't know when to stop. And you end up making a fool of yourself, or you hurt yourself, you do something stupid, you make a mistake. Another mistake. You've already made a mistake, when you blow up. And not that I don't, because I do. Frequently. It's starting to happen more frequently. I have more things to be stressed about, Dumb shit happens at work, and you just get so angry, And that's what happened to me yesterday. I was super inconvenienced. I ended up staying a couple hours late, fixing other people's mistakes and dealing with other people's mistakes. And it's just kind of what happens when you're in my position. It sucks, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And I was thinking about quitting. I wanted to quit my stupid job so badly, and I'm glad I did it. Of course, I wasn't going to. Ultimately, I already know that's a stupid thing to do. And when I calm down and I'm outside of that moment of anger, I would regret quitting my job. Because not every day is terrible. And that's life in general. Not every day is terrible, but there are those days where you get really tested. I passed that test, barely. I was real angry to an unhealthy degree. And I passed that test. A younger me with less responsibilities, and if I was single and I was getting paid $8 an hour or whatever, yeah, I would have walked out. I would have just quit. I would have been so mad. I just found another job and just kept on going. That's not me. Not anymore. That was me, but now it's not. And it's all good. That's an unsafe load that driver is transporting. What the hell is wrong with some of these people? Anyway, yeah, you have to actively think about how to not be angry. If this doesn't apply to you at all, then that's great. Someday it really might come in handy, this sort of information. So, I hope you're not an angry person like I was. But, we'll see. Anyway, the good thing about anger, so, there's good and bad to everything, right? When you're angry about something, what else does that tell you? Why am I angry? What is this? And yes, it could be you're frustrated. But the reason you're frustrated is because it's something that you probably care about. That's the other thing. Like, I care about my job. Like, I work hard there. I've put a lot of time and a lot of effort into being the best that I can be. It's not true every single day. But I really try. Like I said, we have those bad days. And I care about the place, the state of things. And it's just super frustrating when I see that it's, we're having all these problems that we shouldn't be having. That's why I get so mad. And it's probably a proportional thing. I care about it a lot. Just on the line of, quitting and staying. I guess that's kind of the epitome of that little ratio, huh? Anyway, it's okay to be angry. you have to deal with it, and quickly, before you make a fool of yourself. You have to break down the problem, figure it out, and push forward as much as you can. That's a good thing. And it's also okay to tell people that you're angry, to let them know. As long as you're not scaring them or harassing them or whatever. For example, today I did that. I did just that. We're having a little supervisor meeting that we have every morning, and I asked them, I asked them a question. I won't go into the details. Well, why not? So we make windows, and then we get them out of the building. If they want to make 700 windows in a day, then shouldn't at least 700 windows per day leave the building on average? Why isn't that the case? Why do we have all these back orders? Can somebody please explain to me? And I said it like that. I was like, I need to know so I'm not so angry. You can't be angry at work all the time. Spend a lot of your time there. And it's a huge waste of time if you're angry. Because that's not what life's about. So, it's okay. You just gotta catch yourself before you make a fool of yourself. That'll happen. It'll happen to you. It happens to everyone. It's just what happens when you care. Just remember to figure it out. Don't blame the whole world. Don't blame everybody else. Try to understand. I think that's a good stopping point. All right, I'll talk to you later. Love you.